We're at the IAS meeting in Paris. We're here with Rodolfo, who is a priest and also had some medical experience before he took the priesthood. We want to make sure that you cover who you are and why you're here at the conference.
Yeah, I'm Father Rodolfo Vincente Cancino Jr. I'm from the Philippines. I belong to the Chameleon congregation. We are a group of priests taking care of the sick, and part of that, we're taking care of people living with HIV. I'm here in the international conference because I'm part of the Philippine Country Coordinating Mechanism. I stand as chair, primarily of key affected populations. And primarily, we attended here really to increase our, intervention, strategize our national program, primarily for people who inject drugs. Because I think now we all know that one of the many of the barriers in our country is really to take care of drug dependents and drug users in our country. Maybe because of, I would say, a big change in our country, like harsh methodologies on how to treat drug dependents. I think we all know that many of our countrymen are being killed because of this drug issue in our country, because of this political issue. So that's one thing. And second, it's really to highlight the importance of key affected population in the intervention for HIV/AIDS, primarily not only in our country but in Asia and the Pacific region, where we are in network with.
So we just came from a meeting, or a presentation and discussion on stigma and also injection drug use. So.
Yes.
Some of the, I didn't attend much of it, but I'm wanting to see if you can bring out some of the highlights from that, so that what stood out to you as important to take back with you.
Yeah. The session is really inspiring because it started with a person living with HIV and at the same time injecting drug user. The session started with the client's perspective on what are the proper strategy or methods and how really to increase reach, increase test, and increase help for people who are injecting drugs. But what really struck me would be really the person himself. Amidst the messages there, the person is the best message.
Right.
Okay? The person is the best message. So I think that's what I can bring. But in any other strategy, we consider key affected population and even those who are living with the virus as the best message, really to stop stigma and discrimination. Rather than talking about stigma and discrimination per se, but they themselves would really be the start to eradicate this stigma and discrimination, which would be
you don't want
a big
to own
barrier.
it. You don't want to own that in a bad way. You want to own it in a good way.
Yes. Secondly, CBO empowerment is very, very important. People who inject drugs and use drugs are hidden population. Okay, in so many countries because of laws. Laws that prohibit them and laws that would criminalize them. But empowering this community, having this community-based intervention, can be a good tool. And they are not considered as end users, but they are part of the solution. They are partners.
Right. Okay. So part of your job is to take care of the people physically, but also mentally,
yes,
and spiritually, and also advocacy-wise.
Yes.
And get them to become more advocates for themselves.
Yes.
So they stand up for themselves
yes,
and shed some of the stigma, the bad stigma, and so
yes,
forth.
and highlighting human rights, human dignity, and the importance and the value of life, which is very, very important. Because we're coming from a scenario where life is becoming a waste, but rather than giving importance to life and to dignity and to the value, the right to life, right to live, amidst your background, amidst your scenario or your context now. But that's not given importance. So I think the session where we came from, it really started with the life of a person living with HIV and at the same time a drug user. But it ended with, the value of life as it is, and how we can preserve life, and how can we restore life and give back life to them.
What led you down this path that you're taking?
As a priest, as a priest and as an advocate of life, I'm coming from that context that many of my countrymen are being killed. They are just marginalized. They're always at the margins of the society. And it's high time to put them at the center, to give importance to them, so that they themselves, if they'd like really to change, this behavior change, would say, okay, it would start from them. Okay.
Well, it's very good to speak with you, and I appreciate the work you do, and I certainly respect it, and I wish you good luck with it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.